Every year, millions of people walk into a supermarket intending to buy just a few items. Milk, bread, maybe some eggs. 20 minutes later, they're standing in line with a cart full of products they never planned to buy. And here's the unsettling part. It wasn't an accident. Long before you entered the store, someone had already predicted where you would walk, what you would look at, and even what you would be tempted to buy. Because modern supermarkets aren't organized for convenience. They're engineered for profit. Behind every aisle, every shelf, and every display sits a hidden system designed to influence your decisions without you ever noticing. A system so effective that it quietly generates billions of dollars in additional sales every year. The question is, how much of your shopping is actually your decision? To understand the answer, we need to look at one of the most successful forms of behavioral engineering ever created. The supermarket maze. When supermarkets first appeared, many looked very different from today's stores. Layouts were simpler. Navigation was more direct. Efficiency mattered. But over time, retailers discovered something unexpected. The longer customers stayed inside the store, the more money they spent. Not a little more. Significantly more. That discovery changed everything. Suddenly, the goal wasn't helping customers leave quickly. The goal was keeping them inside as long as possible. That's why many supermarkets place essential products in the most inconvenient locations. Milk is often near the back. Bread is rarely near the entrance. Basic household items are scattered throughout the building. The hidden mechanism is simple. If customers must walk farther to reach necessities, they are exposed to more products. And every additional product creates another opportunity for an impulse purchase. The strategy sounds obvious once you see it. But most shoppers never do. Because the design feels natural. That's exactly what makes it so powerful. Then there are the pathways. Notice how many supermarkets avoid straight lines. Instead, they guide customers through winding routes and carefully arranged aisles. The objective isn't confusion. It's exploration. Every turn increases exposure. Every extra second increases the probability of another purchase. Retailers spend enormous amounts of money studying traffic patterns inside stores. They analyze where customers slow down, where they stop, where they turn, where they ignore products completely. The store isn't merely a place to shop. It's a laboratory. And every customer becomes part of the experiment. Then comes one of the most profitable areas in the entire building. The checkout lane. While waiting to pay, customers are trapped in a controlled environment filled with low-cost temptations. Candy, drinks, snacks, small gadgets, products requiring almost no deliberation. The psychology is remarkably effective. After making dozens of purchasing decisions throughout the store, the brain experiences decision fatigue. Self-control weakens. Impulse buying becomes easier. And retailers know it. But the supermarket maze extends beyond physical design. It also exists in how products are displayed. The most profitable products often occupy eye-level shelves. Cheaper alternatives are placed lower. Premium brands negotiate aggressively for visibility. In some cases, shelf positioning is worth millions. Because where a product sits can dramatically influence how often it sells. Before we uncover the most surprising tactic of all, take a moment to support the investigation. If you're fascinated by the hidden systems shaping consumer behavior, corporate influence, and financial decision-making, subscribe to the Wealth Code Chronicles. And if you're enjoying this breakdown, leave a like. It helps us continue exposing the invisible mechanisms operating behind everyday life. Now here's what many people don't realize. Some supermarkets aren't trying to maximize sales per visit. They're trying to maximize customer habit. The longer you spend inside a store, the more familiar it becomes. The more familiar it becomes, the more likely you are to return. Over time, customers stop consciously navigating. They operate on autopilot. And that's where the real advantage appears. Because once shopping becomes automatic, spending often does too. The maze isn't simply guiding your movement. It's shaping your behavior, creating routines, building habits, reducing conscious decision-making, and increasing revenue. The most successful retailers understand something profound about human psychology. People like to believe they're making rational decisions. In reality, environment often influences behavior far more than intention. That's the secret hidden behind supermarket design. The objective isn't forcing people to buy. It's making certain purchases feel natural, effortless, almost inevitable. And once billions of shopping trips are influenced by that principle, the financial impact becomes enormous. If you want to decode the systems behind these consumer empires and learn how businesses quietly shape behavior at scale, check the first link in the description. Because understanding these mechanisms gives you an advantage most consumers never develop. The next time you enter a supermarket, pay attention. Notice how often you're guided rather than choosing. Notice how products seem to appear exactly when you weren't looking for them. Notice how the store subtly controls the pace of your journey. You may discover that what appears to be a simple shopping trip is actually one of the most sophisticated behavioral experiments ever deployed at scale. The supermarket was never just a place to buy groceries. It's a machine. A machine designed to influence attention, shape habits, and convert human behavior into profit. And the most remarkable part? It works so well that most people never realize they're inside the maze.